So the idea today is to actually connect factorized quadratics with their graph. So we're going to use this link. I quite like it because it's one at a time. So here we know 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 plus 1 is 4. So we know that it's going to be x plus 1 and x plus 3. Now from that, let's check I got it right first. All right. Yeah, next question. So the next question I'll do the graph. So here I have got 2 times 3 is 6 and 2 plus 3 is 5. So it's going to be x plus 2 and x plus 3. Now before I submit it, I want to show it to you here. Y equals x plus 2 and x plus 3. So you can see the vertexes, sorry, not vertex, the x-intercept, x is negative 2, 0, and that's one x-intercept, and the other intercept is negative 3, 0. So those are my two x-intercepts. My vertex, if I wanted to calculate it, I'd find the average of negative 2 and negative 3 to get negative 2.5 and plug that into the equation. So if I was to put the original question there, the original question was x squared plus 5x plus 6. If I copied that, let's see if I can actually literally put it here. I just need y equals, and oops, y equals, and then I just need my little shift 6. Hang on. So shift 6 to get the squared up the top. So you can see that they are the same equation, right? Exact same. All right. That makes sense. They're the exact same graph. All right. So what we're trying to do is connect this standard form of the equation with the factored form of the equation with the graph, that when it's factored we can easily see the y-intercepts, x-intercepts. So to get the y-intercept, I actually just plug 0 in, and 2 times 3 is 6. That's how I get the y-intercept. Okay, so next one. So we submit that, and next question. So this one, that looks like the first one, doesn't it? 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 plus 1 is 4. So it's going to be x plus 1 and x plus 3. That looks suspiciously like the first one. I seem to be going around in circles here. 3 times 2 is 5. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. Right. Okay, next question. I'm getting the same question again. It doesn't really make it fun. Okay, so this one here, we're going to have x plus 1, because 1 times 1 is 1 and 1 plus 1 is 2. Next question, I want to find a harder one. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, so x plus 2, and x plus 1. Okay, because 1 times 2 is 2 and 1 plus 2 is 3. Next question. All right, negative 4. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 4. Because we've got a minus here, we know we're going to have x plus on one and x minus on the other. So we know their difference will be 3. So I happen to see that it's going to be 4 times negative 1, because they're 3 apart. 1 times negative 1 times 4 is negative 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So as soon as I see the negative sign here, I know the difference of the two that multiply to this will be that. Okay, next. So this one is where we get slightly more complicated. So we can do that kind of guess and check thing. So I want you to give that a shot, and then I'll go over it. So one way of doing it is knowing that the factors of this here would be 2x and x, and the factors of this here are 2 and 1. Now, if we go, the factors would be this way across. So to get the middle term, this middle term here, we need to go that times that plus that times that. So that would give me 4x, so that's wrong. So let's try a 1 there and a 2 there. So now that would give me 4x plus 1x is 5x. So then I know it's 2x plus 1 and x plus 2. Those are my two factors. Okay, so let's try that back to here. So it was 2x plus 1 and x plus 1. Was that right? No, x plus 2. Was I right? Yes. Next question. Okay, so for that one, -1, oh, it's going to be x plus 2 and x minus 1 because they have to multiply to 2 or -2, but they have to add to 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Next. All right, this one I want to do again. So we should just get the snipping tool and grab it. There we go. And then we'll go back into Paint. So how do we do it? We look at the factors here. It could be 2x, and 2x is a possibility. And here we could have a 3 and a 2, one of them being negative. So that would be 4x, and that would be 6x. That's not going to work, right? So it's a lot of guess and check going on before you can get that one right, because here the other option is 4x and x, and here the other options are 1 and 6, or 6 and 1, or 2 and 3. Oh, well, you can put the minuses in, yes, exactly. So it could be, there's even more, all right? So we'd need to go, okay, that could be minus, that could be minus, that could be minus, that could be minus, or that could be minus, that could be minus, that could be minus, that could be minus. So there's actually 8 combinations there, and there's 2 combinations here. So you could be spending an awful long time doing that. There is another way that this can be done, which I could also teach you. Would you like to know that way? Okay, so that way is where, get rid of all of that, you actually multiply this, this number and this number together. So what's that? -24. And you're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to that and that add to 5. So 3 8s are 24, yes? Yeah, but one of them has to be negative. So 8 minus 3 equals 5, am I right? So what I do now is I rewrite this term. So I go 4x squared, and instead of plus 5x, I go plus 8x minus 3x minus 6. So, oops. So what I did is I replaced the 5x with those, using those 2 numbers. So I've got 8x minus 3x is 5x. All right, so now I've got a much easier life. Here I can factorize that, and 4x is common to both, and that's x plus 2. And here I can factorize both and say -3 is common to both, and that's also x plus 2. Then I see that this is my common factor, so it's 4x minus 3, x plus 2. Now to me, that's actually easier because it's a process I can follow and I don't have to do so much guess and checking because I'm not so good at that. So let's go back, 4x minus 3, 4x minus 3, and was it x plus 2? Was it or not? Yeah. Okay, so that should be enough. You've got a new method. That's what you're doing. Oh, and the other thing is, of course, you are graphing them. If in doubt, you can graph them. So you just go into Desmos and you pop the graph in there, but you just take away the squared and put it back in so it's correct. All right, and then you can actually read if 1 is a x-intercept, then x minus 1 is a factor. If 2 is an intercept, then x minus 2 is a factor. So this one would factorize to x minus 1, x minus 2. So I actually don't have to do the math. I can just do it from that. So x minus 1, x minus 2 here, x minus 1, x minus 2. Okay, done. So that is what you are up to today.